Good evening and hello to you. Happy Black Friday. Happy day after Thanksgiving. For some, happy Thanksgiving, maybe celebrating day after. Wishing you a wonderful kind of kickoff start to the holiday weekend, maybe past Thanksgiving Day itself. But of course, a lot is still going on across North Georgia, the city of Atlanta, and beyond, including big game tonight. Georgia and Georgia Tech over in Athens. Big game tonight kicking off at 7:30. That's after sunset. So as cold as it is right now, it is going to get even colder. In fact, a very cold, freezing. You can use that word, accurately tonight into tomorrow morning to describe the forecast. A freezing forecast tonight. We're going to go deeper into the game outlook from kickoff through halftime and that final play tonight. We'll walk you hour by hour. Also, a look ahead to the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So many folks have plans. Some, of course, celebrating their Thanksgiving with friends, family, loved ones this weekend. And then lastly, we are also going to talk about yet another cold blast. In fact, the coldest air yet. I know we keep saying that. Kind of a stepping down sort of weather pattern. Each front brings progressively colder weather to the forecast. And we have yet another strong front on the way, even colder weather on the way, and another first alert weather day as we get into Monday. So again, a lot to talk about tonight. I want to go ahead and start with outside conditions as folks still join the chat. Don't want to dive too deep into the forecast before allowing more folks to join. And I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. Thank you for tuning in and for watching this stream of Atlanta News First Plus. We're going to focus solely on the forecast. And right off the bat, temperatures are already starting to cool back after reaching highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s. We're going to drop an easy 10 to 15 degrees here over the next couple, maybe 2-3 hours getting into the evening and the start of game time over in Athens. Again, right now, 50. That is already 1 to 2 degrees colder than we were yesterday evening at this same time, and the wind is still sustained at 16 miles an hour. That's another factor that we're watching for the game tonight. It's pretty gusty out there. Sustained winds 10 to 20, gusts 20 to 30. Winds will relax, but for the first quarter, I would say not only could the cold be a factor, but also the wind out there, especially if we can get some height with that ball tonight, especially, first half of the game, and hopefully winds relaxing just a little bit. And as we kind of expand the view here, let's start with current temperatures because we're dropping back, but kind of at unequal sort of rates. Our mountain communities are already plummeting, I would say. LJ, for example, is already back to 39 degrees. Sun has not even set. It's only 4 p.m., 4:07 in the afternoon. And temperature is already back in the upper 30s in LJ, upper 40s Helen, mid-40s North Metro Canton, and Hartsfield-Jackson about to be in the upper 40s technically within the past 5-10 minutes. 50 degrees, latest temperature at Hartsfield-Jackson. Griffin is at 50, 53 in Eatonton, and for those headed to the game, probably already tailgating or at least doing their pregame activities, it is already 52 in Athens, and we are less than 3.5 hours away from kickoff, so pre-game activities are definitely still underway. You know what's nice, though? I know it's cold. I know we have the wind to contend with, but we are absolutely dry. First alert radar, no worries of any rain or anything like that. And arguably, that would be a bigger impact than if we were to see, just the cold and windy weather we are going to see and feel through the game tonight. Tracking, though, that front that brought us quite a bit of rain in parts of the area, early Thanksgiving morning, had a couple downpours roll through. That is to our south. For those, and I know quite a few folks actually in the Savannah area that were driving up to Athens for the game, they had to deal with some rain on the first trek, so if they're running a little behind to join the tailgate, just know that they did have a little bit of weather to contend with down there. In fact, I drove through some of that 60 and I-95 area earlier this morning with some of that rain. Now let's get to the forecast. Again, we're going to start with the big view. And as the banner below says, temperatures are going to plummet tonight. And I'm not, being aggressive with that adjective. Literally, temperatures are going to drop 5, 10, 15 degrees within just a few hours as soon as the sun begins to set. In fact, 4:09, as mentioned, temperatures already starting to fall, and we're still, quite a bit away from official sunset. There's Athens on the map, screen right. We're taking a look at the whole picture here, though. So here we are at 6 p.m. Maybe the first few folks trying to grab their seats. Hour and a half before kickoff, temperatures back in the lower 40s in Athens, mid-30s in Blairsville, upper 30s in Dawsonville, 46 in Atlanta, already down to 40 in Carrollton. Now, by kickoff, 7:30 or so, and then, of course, 8 p.m., you're roughly, maybe a quarter or so, a little bit more in. And temperatures already back in the upper 30s in Athens, and this data is coming in even colder. And keep in mind, by 8 p.m., winds will be lighter than they are now, but I still do think that there is going to be enough of a breeze to make that 39 in the stands maybe feel more like a 33, 34. So it's going to be cold. You want the winter jackets, the winter coats, probably the scarves, the hats, the gloves as well. Of course, if you're closer to the area of play, not way up in the stands, it'll be a little bit warmer. Hopefully you'll be a little bit more protected from the wind, but still a good idea to bundle up and willing to bet, judging on the matchup here and the fact that today's Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, the rivalry here. Typically it's a big game, but you add some cold weather, some very holiday feeling weather out there. Probably going to be some very loud and energetic fans. Everyone loves a good cold football game between Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? It kind of fits with the season, fits with Black Friday. Classic Friday night lights in the South, and weather certainly cooperating. And arguably, again, it'd be much more unseasonable, maybe unlikable if temperatures were above average or unusually warm versus temperatures that are just plain old cold. 9, 10 o'clock, temperatures continuing to cool back, and by the end of the game, we're looking at mid to upper 30s around Clark and Oconee counties. And honestly, we will probably already by 11 to midnight tonight be seeing some frost develop on the cards. That's how quickly temperatures are going to drop. So make sure that you're bundled up, and then as we get into tomorrow morning, out the door, let's say you're sleeping in a little bit, you're not really getting up until 9 or so Saturday after Thanksgiving. Temperature still just above freezing, low to mid 30s mid-morning. Earlier in the morning, and I'll bring the clock back here, temperatures in the 20s. So if you're staying in Athens tonight, maybe with friends, maybe you have a place out there, crashing with friends, you're going to wake up to very cold temperatures tomorrow, mid to upper 20s. Of course, Saturday after game day is a big brunch day in Athens, and it is going to be a frigid start tomorrow morning as we get into the mid-morning hours, trying to get to 40 in Athens by 10 a.m. So even if you're not doing brunch, you're doing lunch, winter coats, a good idea. By noon, temperatures still in the 40s, but we're back in the mid to upper 40s. And high temperatures, tomorrow afternoon, roughly this time of year, you're going to see that warmest temperature of the day, about 3 to 3:30 in a usual case. That is going to be the case tomorrow. Lower 50s in Atlanta. Athens the same, about 50 in Jonesboro, down in Clayton County, 51 Covington, and in LaGrange 51. North Metro, far northwest side, our mountain community staying in the mid to upper 40s. Winds not as strong tomorrow, but still it is going to be, there will be enough of a breeze to make it feel even colder than the upper 40s and lower 50s, especially if your plans have you in the shade tomorrow morning and into tomorrow afternoon. Going to be a nice weekend. Sunshine will be plentiful, but it's going to be cold. So just make sure you're bundled up, you're dressed accordingly, but certainly not a bad weekend weather-wise across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. In fact, here is a closer look at wind gusts tomorrow. Today we were gusting 30, 35 at times, where there will be a little bit of a breeze tomorrow morning, maybe gusting 10 to 20, not 30 to 40 through about 3 p.m. And then tomorrow evening, temperatures really start to cool, and the winds die back a bit. And because the winds are calmer and the sky is clear, we have this cold air mass settled in. Those three ingredients really tell me that also Saturday night into Sunday morning is not going to be warm either. It'll be pretty cold, maybe 1 or 2 degrees warmer than tonight to tomorrow morning. Still, though, winter wear, heavy winter coat, a good idea. And then an even stronger cold front arrives Sunday afternoon and evening, but that cold air really won't settle in until Sunday night and Monday. So yet another notch down in our temperature, waking up to 20s, mid to upper 20s around the immediate metro, low to mid 20s, a pretty good bet further out. So North Metro mountains even could have some upper teens there in the highest of elevations Monday morning, Tuesday morning up in the mountains. High temperatures, despite all of that sun, struggling to get into the mid to upper 40s. And with the breeze, maybe not that windy, but a breeze, it'll feel like it's in the upper teens and lower 20s wind chill wise, what it feels like with that wind factored in Monday and Tuesday mornings. Doesn't look like we have any questions coming in. Atlanta News First on YouTube, nor have I seen any texts. 470-777-WANF. That's 470-777-9263. But a reminder, you can always ask your questions even after the stream ends. I'll go back and check the YouTube stream. It will live there even after the live portion is over. And we will go back and check text messages as well. And we're just now catching the last few seconds of this. We're talking about the big Georgia Tech game in Athens tonight. It is going to be cold. Make sure you are wearing all the layers. A night for your heaviest winter coat and grabbing the hot chocolate while watching the big game tonight. So bundle up, stay warm. Cold weather lingers this weekend, even colder into next week. Another first alert weather day for that. Yet again, another drop in our temperature Monday.